What's up, everyone? Welcome to the July 6th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESEMO when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on your first deposit. We have an 8-game MLB slate tonight. There are some weather concerns, so be sure to keep an eye on those. But right now, at least, everything looks like it should play, and I'm going to treat it that way for this video. So, as usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top 3 stacks. Number 3, the Houston Astros are taking on Brad Keller tonight. The Astros are projected for about 6% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. Keller has only struck out 15.6% of hitters with a 4.28 xFIP so far this season. The Astros lead the league with a 124 WRC plus on their active roster. They also have a league-leading 205 ISO. Very, very high upside spot for Houston against a pitcher in Keller that doesn't miss a lot of bats. Number 2, the San Francisco Giants are taking on Merrill Kelly tonight in Arizona. Positive park shift for the Giants. They're only projected for 3% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack. Kelly has only struck out 19.6% of hitters with a 4.05 xFIP this season. The Giants' active roster has a 112 WRC plus and a 170 ISO. And number 1, the New York Yankees are taking on Mitch Keller in Pittsburgh. Difficult park for power, but the Yankees just have so much of it in their lineup. It still makes them an appealing stack. They're projected for about 12% aggregate ownership with a 12% chance of being the top scoring stack. Keller has only struck out 18.9% of hitters so far this season with a 4.36 xFIP. He's only allowed 0.77 home runs per 9 innings, but he has gotten a bit lucky, at least it appears, in terms of limiting power, particularly against right-handed hitters. A 203 expected ISO compared to just a 152 actual ISO for Keller. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of those home runs start coming tonight against the Yankees. Now, looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Mitch White, 22.8% strikeout percentage this season, taking on the Colorado Rockies outside of Coors Field. The Rockies' active roster has a 95 WRC plus and a 20.3% strikeout percentage, but we should expect to see that strikeout percentage increase whenever they play outside of Coors as well. White is projected for about 8% ownership with a 12% chance of being a top 2 pitcher at $7,900. Number 2, Josiah Gray, $8,200, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia. Dangerous offense to face, dangerous park to pitch in, but Gray does have good strikeout stuff with a 25.4% strikeout percentage. He's only projected for about 10% ownership with a 14% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. And number 1, Max Fried, also in a dangerous matchup against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals' active roster has a 121 WRC plus, a 19.8% strikeout percentage. It's also very right-handed heavy against the left-handed Fried, but Fried has still struck out 23% of right-handed hitters this year while holding them to a 143 expected ISO and a 296 expected WOBA. Overall this season, Fried has a 23.9% strikeout percentage and a 2.86 xFIP. He's only projected for about 12% ownership with a 23% chance of being a top 2 pitcher on DraftKings. While the matchup is really difficult, he's much less popular, or expected to be much less popular, I should say, than similarly talented pitchers like Aaron Nola, Christian Javier, and Luis Severino in his price range. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the Houston Astros; number 2, the San Francisco Giants; and number 1, the New York Yankees. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Mitch White; number 2, Josiah Gray; and number 1, Max Fried.